Hello viewers, we are here with a review of a movie named Some Like It Rare, which was released in 2021. This thriller movie is about a couple named Vincent and Sophie who runs a butcher shop. The situation of their business is not good enough. They are dissatisfied with their business as well as their life. They don't even laugh anymore. Opening and closing the shop is the only task they have to do in their whole day. Another reason for their dissatisfaction is the attacks on their shop by some vegans. One day, Sophie meets her friend Stephanie and Stephanie tells her to get rid of her husband, as he is not doing much for her. Stephanie tells Sophie that deserves more. These arguments by Stephanie make Sophie sad. The next scene, Sophie, Vincent, Mark, and Stephanie having dinner. Stephanie's husband Mark is doing good and has a lot of butcher shops, so he insults Vincent and they get into an argument, after which Sophie and Vincent leave the place. While going back home, Vincent and Sophie are both angry and they get into an argument. Sophie complains about everything and tells Vincent that she is thinking to leave him, which makes Vincent angry. During their argument, Vincent notices a man whom he recognizes as one of the vegans who attacked their shop. Vincent decides to take his revenge. He hits the man with his car and the man dies on the spot, leaving Vincent and Sophie extremely nervous. Then both of them decide to take the body to their shop, where they will cut the body and will throw it away afterward. The next scene shows Vincent cutting the body. A small piece of meat falls on the floor and his dog eats it. It seems that the dog is enjoying its taste. The next morning, Vincent comes to the shop and asks Sophie about the sales. Meanwhile, a woman enters the shop and asks about the meat she has taken earlier, as it was delicious. The woman asks them about the source of the meat, and Vincent tells her the meat is from the Iranian pork. After the woman leaves the shop, Sophie asks Vincent about the meat and he tells her it's the same as the last night. Vincent says he will dispose of the body soon, but Sophie tells her not to throw it away, as its demand is high among the customers. Now they set to find vegan people for their meat. Meanwhile, they get to know that the boyfriend of their daughter is also a vegan and he works in a restaurant. Vincent and Sophie go to the restaurant and try to kill the owner, but they cannot, as Vincent is not ready for it. The next day, Vincent and Sophie go to a vegan event, where they meet a vegan man named Joshua. Joshua tells them about a group of vegan people, the Brinjal group. Vincent and Sophie go to meet the vegan people. There, they get to know that one of the members is Mark's daughter, and she has the keys to one of Mark's butcher shops. They all go to the shop and destroy everything. In the next scenes, we can see Sophie and Vincent sitting in a restaurant, where they get into an argument and Vincent leaves. Sophie meets a waiter who tells her that he's vegan. Sophie decides to be their next prey. She takes the waiter to her home and leads him to some intimate moments. Sophie tells Vincent about the waiter and asks him to kill the waiter. Vincent says that he will not kill anybody, but when he sees the naked waiter waiting for Sophie, he gets furious and kills the waiter with the lamp. They finally get the vegan meat for the next day. Meanwhile, Sophie gets a call from Stephanie and she tells her about the shop. Sophie fakes her expressions and consoles Stephanie. The business of Vincent and Stephanie is doing great. They sell enough meat every day. In the further scenes, Sophie, Stephanie, Vincent, and Mark can be seen having dinner together. Mark asks Vincent about the source of his meat, and Vincent replies that he does not want his competitor to know about the source of his meat. At the table, they get into an argument and start to beat each other with their bare hands. During the fight, Vincent bites Mark's ear and chews it. This makes Mark and Stephanie horrified and suspicious at the same time. Vincent and Sophie enjoy their money and can be seen killing vegan people. One day, they go to an event where they meet their daughter and their boyfriend Lucas. Lucas asks them about their business and asks them why they have not closed their meat shop. A man from the Brinjal group listens to the conversation between them. In the next scene, Vincent and Sophie can be seen chasing a black woman. Vincent is busy cutting off the body of the woman into small pieces when a policeman enters the shop. Vincent gets confused but still manages to control the scenario. The policeman leaves the shop without knowing about the human body being cut in the shop. After this incident, Vincent and Sophie decide not to kill any people in the future. The customers do not purchase meat anymore from their shops. One night, Vincent leaves the shop and leaves Sophie alone in the shop. The members of the Brinjal group come and take Sophie with them. Vincent gets to know about this when he sees the car of the Brinjal group near their shop. He then decides to get Sophie back. He goes to the place of Brinjal's group where he sees Sophie tied with a rope. He immediately attacks all of them. Sophie also joins his husband after she gets her hands freed from the rope. Vincent and Sophie manage to get back to their home safely. At the end of the movie, the couple gets caught when Mark and Stephanie tell the media about Vincent chewing a human ear and their suspicion. Vincent and Sophie get punishment for what they have done, and the movie ends with it. Thanks for watching. We will be back with a new video soon.